All right, everyone, how's it going? Hi, Kirby, how's it going? We're here, and we have what's it called? This very special guest with us to be able to go through Ace Attorney.
Hello, it's me, Amana.
Oh man, it's been some time. Uh,
It's been a while since we've collabed. I think it was maybe like a week or 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun.
yeah, I think it was around the time we were doing Cassette Beast. We ended up like doing like a nice call. It was a really good time. I think. Yeah. Oh, it's great to hear. Oh, that's such a really cute, cool like emote. I'm in. What's it called?
Guys, if you hear a little bit of an echo, me and Rockna are in the same room. I'm trying my best to not speak so loud, but please don't mind the echo.
It happens sometimes. It's all good. I know I'm personally a little bit anxious because it's been some time. I know last Sunday I was doing a lot of streaming, but I know last week I also took Thursday off, so it's one of those things where I'm still trying to kind of get back into the saddle almost of doing a lot more frequent streams. But
You're doing amazing. Don't worry about
right,
it.
it's that initial worry of just being like, well, what if the other person's too quiet? Uh, Let me try to see if I can turn up the maybe desktop audio a bit. Hold on. Maybe that should be good. I feel like I kind of maybe I'll try to pause the music. Make that not so present. Let's see. Sorry, it's a bit scuff. It gets like that sometimes. I know. I guess alternating between like different accounts and such.
You can't be a VTuber without some scuff. It's okay. It happens to the best of us, and you're the best of the best.
There we go. I think that should be good. I'm looking at my mic and my aux and kind of alternating between like the desktop audio and the other audio, and I'm like, oh yeah, this works.
Testing. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mm, is that good? Mm. For the time being, I will say sure. But let me test out the game audio and see if that's like gonna sync up pretty easily.
We should have tested that before we started streaming. Oh well, you guys can be part of this amazing process. I can keep you entertained if you need me to.
Ba, 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 da, da, da. Let's see. I'm going to have to what's it called? Share the screen with you. Uh, Let's see. It was this guy. Um, go live. You see it?
Sorry, my Discord's acting out. I can't go back to the main page, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to see it at one point.
Eventually. Cause like, yeah, it just has to escape. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it definitely looks a lot better on your screen.
I can see it now. Oh, can you guys hear me over the music?
Yeah, I'll turn on the music a bit just in case. Wait, is there a volume button? Oh, yeah, music. It's just mute and unmute. So
Bucket we ball.
if it winds up being really bad, then you might just have to turn up your Discord. But we are going to go off on what's it called? This part of the adventure of the Clouded Kokoro, which is the fourth chapter of this. I think I talked with him enough. Yeah.
Can you give us a quick recap, please?
All right, so This dude kind of fucked up because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is a Japanese exchange student who is trying to study English, but he got thrown into, I guess, England, and no matter what this guy does, he keeps on having the worst luck. And he ended up stumbling into a situation where he accidentally like confessed to an attempted murder just because nobody understood like him when he was trying to speak. So he just kept on nodding and hoping that what he was saying was perfectly fine, but it totally wasn't. This is just the inspector that like kind of put the cuffs on him along with Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock. This is my boss. He is an angry-looking dude who is a person of the law. And this is my assistant, Susato. She is a judicial assistant, and she joined me on my journey to, like, what's it called? London to be, like, kind of real estate agent. Not real estate. An attorney. Yes.
Tax attorney.
I read that wrong, oh yeah!
Nobody knows that joke.
We were just so tormented by that, like, Idina Menzel, like, ad for a while because that's what YouTube kept showing.
Bro, do you even remember what they were selling?
I think it might have been Progressive Auto Insurance or Geico. It might have been Geico.
Sponsored by.
It's like they have more than enough money. They don't need my dirty, like, VTuber money. Let's see. February 19th, Briar Road. So, this is where it all happened. Briar Road.
Oh, my screen's freaking out. Give me a second.
Man, Susato is talking about screens quite a bit.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know.
But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, but never dreamt I'd ever see one this close. To a real Bobby's helmet!
What? The helmet?
Of course! I have to try one on one day.
Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true.
Susato's so cute. I love her.
She's really sweet. What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh, Inspector Garrison.
This isn't on the tourist trail. I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
So, you've been in a holding cell then? Why will I'm less criminal?
He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
Well, we'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do you what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. The verdict's a foregone conclusion. The stone-cold air of rejection.
Take here. London at this time of year is full of stone-cold air.
That makes it worse somehow.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who takes no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes round and round till the labels on his feet. So, back to back, off to work.
What? He wakes people up.
Yep. Raps on the window with a long pole. Did it myself going a bat bit. I'm really good at freestyling to a nice sick beat and 808 drums.
Oh, I had no idea about those 808 drums.
All of my stuff is on SoundCloud. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's one of his duties. He sold me really bad beats one time. It was really shitty. Oh, kind of bass. Blast. After that, he started tirelessly patrolling the strip all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance.
I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Let me see, the amount of time it takes to sell a mixtape. 20 miles, that's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. That's a pretty long ways for some mixtapes.
On foot, that's definitely taking things a step too far. Usually you just kind of hand them out like, what's it called, on college campuses. You don't do this stuff by just traveling from city to city.
When it gets dark, of course, he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
Oh my, what a shit job.
And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
And chased after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure what you call in between exactly, or alongside, but yes. They're expecting to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit.
I always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it was with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dreams to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. Not the case. Oh shit. Wrong button. There we go.
It happened around 5 in the evening 2 days ago. Just there, on the open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, stabbed with a blade from behind me. It was right after the lady's consciousness. We mentioned that being treated in the hospital.
Oh wait, sorry. That was the wrong words. You mentioned she was being treated in the hospital.
I never said she was a lady. The truth is, she comes around pretty smart. We won't be able to find out much about her after all.
I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course.
Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want.
Really? You sure?
It's yard policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go.
I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We are gratefully accept.
The local map's been entered in.
Anyway, as far as we know, there's no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. So who did it, you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it?
Well, I know Mr. Natsume is claiming not to have seen anyone else around,
But just because you didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. Wait a minute, that's not how that works.
I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can't be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
It what?
We have two reliable witnesses, no less.
Oh.
It was a typical foggy London day, as always, and your client obviously didn't see them.
There were witnesses now? Who are these witnesses, Inspector?
A fellow and his wife, and a man who's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London.
That's what you guys said about McGilden.
Yeah, I remember McGilden. That motherfucker was a killer. He's a killer.
He was stealing money and ripping people off.
He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
A policeman. That might change things.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that man. Part and parcel of being a bubby.
Catching them banging the act. Catching them bang in the act?
Oh, we banging in the act, bruh.
Like, I knew Ace Attorney was kind of like that, but damn.
Where's Cosmo when I need him?
Yeah, of all the times for Kazuma to be out of the picture, it's when there are people banging in the streets. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask the policeman a few questions?
Be my guest. You may ask him what you like. In court tomorrow.
Oh,
I wrote down he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you some time to look forward to.
that's that. He has no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed this incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make your job very difficult indeed.
Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned you of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector.
Well,
The person who led you to the suspect. I hear it was Herlock Sholmes.
what are you bringing him up for?
Was it something I said? Color drained from his cheeks.
Who did you hear that name from?
Oh well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when he entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' Oh!
Fiddle faddle! The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere.
Oh,
I don't know where he gets his info from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime, wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, He claims to have solved the case.
Yes,
Not the fries! Not the
the
fries!
fish and chips are being crushed. Now it's just paste. He's quite astounding, isn't he?
He is a great help to Scotland Yards, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble.
Ah, gibble gabble!
Ever seen this before? This is also gibble gabble.
Well, it's the Rants magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, seems to fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any of Sherlock Holmes' tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public, thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all of our criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship.
That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you gonna defend him or not?
Well,
It makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole.
because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey again.
There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying.
Wait, is the Reaper from the Bailey the guy from the last trial?
Yeah, it's Baroque Van Zeeks. Baroque Van Freak himself.
The vampire dude.
It's all a bit strange.
Sorry.
The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court in a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are real scum. The master criminals. The violent ones.
Master criminals.
The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims. Only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
Oh man, so he's just like pretty much cheating. He's just like, I'm going to find like whichever people are the most guilty so that my like rep is constantly untarnished.
What a shitty lawyer. He's not even here for the people. What about the people's law?
What a fraud. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd expect the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into. Or want for better phrase.
Wait. So she's still alive, but they just haven't asked her who freaking did it? Like,
Yeah,
why is there a point of the case? That she's still alive.
I guess she's unconscious in the moment, so they're not quite able to ask her. So
Oh.
everyone's just kind of putting words into Natsume's mouth and hoping that it sticks.
Damn, I hope she wakes up and shows up in court. That's gonna be so fucking great. Like, she just shows up and she's like, I'm a witness. Witness this!
It'd be pretty funny.
No, there's got to be more to it. For some reason he's taken an interest.
It's because of me.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector? Does he want to be the new Kazuma?
You think I can't tell what's going on inside the head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really gonna have to face him again? The Lord of Darkness, as he put it?
Would you trust a lawyer who was like, hey guys, I'm the Lord of Darkness. I'm here to represent you.
Well, I guess if you're hiring a prosecutor, you'd want to hire, like, the Lord of Murder. The Lord of Darkness, the Harbinger of Death, the Bringer of Sorrow. Because if, like, someone like that goes into court, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely get, like, a guilty verdict from this dude. If I'm trying to get this dude like bars.
I still want to know why he's allowed to drink wine. That's so unfair.
Getting, like, pissed drunk during, like, the court. No wonder why he lost that last trial.
Is he a bitch?
I don't think we're gonna get any more useful information from this guy.
Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, yes. What is it?
Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Exactly.
Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can't you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not. I assure you, you simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again.
The trouble is, we have no idea what the man's address is.
It's Baker Street.
How did you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to figure out there before Susada-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage. Holy shit, she's so goddamn cute.
Oh, I'm just so excited. Oh, so we're gonna have a reunion already. Oh, it's a little too fond. So we're gonna have a reunion already. With the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Is Ryunosuke even ever happy? Because he always seems like a nervous wreck.
I feel like he's constantly a nervous wreck. Like, constantly just kind of at the whims. Because I feel like Phoenix didn't quite have that. Phoenix was just overly confident, but like, was goofy and bombed a lot. But like, I think with like Ryunosuke, he's so skittish. Ooh, anime.
Anime!
It's just like one of my Japanese animes.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day. Good day. Thanks again.
Yellow. Hi, Beal.
Hey, Bill! Welcome! Welcome!
This is
So
it.
happy to have you!
The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Ryunosuke with a British accent. Oh, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I guess it made sense for all of the Japanese characters to have more American English. While like the British people have distinctively British accents.
I'm surprised you let us into his house.
Yeah, just a knock and we're in. So, this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Oh, nice, you got the Kaya skin. Oh,
Isn't Kaya like your husbando?
I mean, I don't blame him.
I can't believe you know Genshin characters by their names.
I feel like Kaya is pretty easy to recognize because he's like, I think he's like one of the free dudes that you get. So like, he kind of just is like someone that is always in your party. Oh, hold on, let me sit. I think I just need to turn this up a bit. Maybe here? Oh, I think my noise gate's a bit weird. Ah, ba 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 ba. There we go. Is this good? Maybe.
You might just have to talk a little bit louder.
If I just talk a bit louder, maybe there. Yeah. I'm starting to see it on the mic a bit. There we go. Sorry about that. Oh man, hopefully it wasn't too bad when I was doing the lines previously. But
we can go back to the original noise gate if you want, if that makes it easier for you. We have a picture of that. I don't think it'll pick me up too much because I'm kind of talking a little bit low into the mic anyway.
yeah. I think that this should be good for now. I'll see how this works.
Oh, now you're clear.
Yeah. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san.
Many cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose that they must have been, yes? I've never read these stories, so it's hard to quite get as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villains relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down and until London Street. Oh, the thrill of that, the romanticism. Can you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, I suppose I can, yes.
So if you don't mind... I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me.
Ha! She's obsessed.
Damn, is her lot kind of like her husbando?
Yeah, I guess it's someone where like she thought like Mr. Sholmes was just like a husbando from fiction. But then upon seeing that he's a real life dude, it's suddenly like this huge thing. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at the present. Yeah, he makes fan fiction of himself, and then like I guess ends up like creating like almost this sort of like revisionist history about how he solves all these cases while all the other detectives are shit.
Wait a minute. Okay, so how do we get into his house if he's not home? Like, does he have a butler that lets us in, or are we breaking and entering?
Maybe Watson's there? Oh, that is a Dio shoe. That really curly shoe, like, that's like what Dio wears from JoJo, except it's like red. It's like all these fun gag props.
Is that Napoleon on the right?
It does look like a Napoleon head. An hourglass, like some like nerd glasses. Giant like chess pieces.
Cause he's British.
Oi. Excuse me, is anyone home?
Oh, do we have a visitor?
Oh, that's not Sherlock.
Hello? Is it a new big case from Mr. Show?
Oh wait, did you want to do this voice or?
Oh shit, I forgot.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you wanted to do this one or
I can do this one too. I can do the girls.
the girls.
Hello, it's a big chance for Mr. Sherlomes.
Hello. Wait, aren't you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Miss Susato, did you see a girl who was just there?
Oh yes, is it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Boham came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bowaria?
King Wilhelm Gotcherich Sigmund von Olmestein, of course. I'm so sorry for butchering that up.
Let's see. I've watched enough Kyokara Mao to pick up some German. That's it. I guess Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, or Ormstein, I guess. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there.
The tea's brewed, and I have freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you!
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. Ah, there you are. Oh wait, that's still...
And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experiment smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
Yeah, that's the girl that made the grenade launcher from the, what's it called? The McGilded trial. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber. Yes. Ah, paraphrasing what I just said. Mind reader.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Or are you having to go straight to work when you're only just arrived in London?
Oh, yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's a special blend, you know?
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor.
Hooray! Oh.
Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see? Not sussy tea. Oh,
Sussy baka tea.
it's peace! It's peace!
Oh man, the Abacchio tea.
You must be exhausted after your long journey here. You have another ticklish trial tomorrow. How the fuck's you know all that?
Mind reader.
Oh, and you defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Showing the server all the bond links from Omyoji. So neat. I'm not as well versed in Omyoji, but I know I should get into it. Hurley, Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley.
That was a stupid joke.
Shirley, you're not surly.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see? Was he really? Well, I had no idea. But yet you knew about my fucking trial, bitch. What are you talking about? I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Which she was on the boat with us.
Wait a minute.
She lying.
We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Little old catso named Kuro. Is he like a black cat? It seems like such a really cute thing. Oh, yeah. Either Sherlock like tells her everything, or she's what's it called, the magician.
He's the op. She's the op.
She's the feds. Did she deduce all those things, do you think?
She do those things. And perhaps more to the point. Why is she here in Mr. Sholom's suite? Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I've lived here together with Hurley.
Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait. This can't be. Did you say your name is Wilson? Is she supposed to be Watson?
I think she might be the Watson. What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Yeah, I guess John Watson, but Iris Wilson.
Oh my god, they turned him into a cute little lowly anime girl.
They ossified, what's his name? Martin Freeman.
I want to hear Martin Freeman read this.
Yes, that's right. And what are your names? I don't know what Martin Freeman sounds like. I just assume it's an older British person like Bilbo.
I should have given her a British accent. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, you could still do it. It's not too late.
I'm so bad. Yes, that is right.
That's right.
I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Sussy.
Sussy and Runo.
Sussy and Runo.
Ah.
Sussy? I'm not a baka.
And Runo. I'm not a baka. There's more to this girl that meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I. Wait, did she read your mind? Or were you whispering?
I think I was saying in a hushed tone. Yeah, I love this polka music.
It kind of sounds like Pokemon music.
Oh yeah, like what's it called when you're in like a Pokemon town? And like what's it called? Like Pokemon X used to have all this stuff because it was very like French heavy. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey?
Yes, that is right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. That was not a British accent. I'm sorry. Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
American dream. Like this?
Not Iris giving us the American experience.
Ah, thinking back now, you left with Miss Landstar and Toad, didn't you?
Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Jeannie, she's a professional pickpocketer.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my prevention like that.
Are you referring to the trial disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly. I followed her, so you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should have been thinking about a fitting self-destruction machine as in my inventions.
This girl's dangerous.
Anyways, I brought Ginny back here, and after that, so she could apologize to my trusty condition.
Sorry, you're a technician? Doofenshmirtz. Early.
Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock Sholmes, not Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call myself Hurley if it was my father, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Is he truly a lolicon? Well, you found out the lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. The solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate.
Your roommates?
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10, as less this year.
Well, what if your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around. They are dead.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there, other than, like, the obvious. Let's see, Iris. Wilson.
Wilson!
I'm sorry! Wilson!
I've never seen that movie. I just made that up. I just assumed that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, Castaway is a good movie, though.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Sussy. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rancid magazines. Yes, I read every issue. It delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see. And he's telling me all about them.
Alright, see you, Beal.
Bye, Beal. Get some good sleep. I know it's late over there. That's really quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if there was only one who can hear them, don't you think? Goodness! Last night, he was telling me all about this new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you're the author? Yes, and I'll let you know in secret if you like. I'm going to call the latest adventure The Speckled Band.
Oh, that fucker. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the story, here and there, and everywhere, and the whole entire story is fake, you know?
Everything's an entire embellishment. There's a couple that, what's it called? One of them lost another, and now they have to find each other.
It was all a dream. I used to read Ritz magazine. Herlock on the screen. This time, I have an idea of making a venomous snake the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well.
Yes, and of course, that's not a British accent.
Yas Queen.
Yes! And of course, does a snake not be credible for the facts in the case exactly, but I have to make sure I don't get sued and say everything is a fabrication. It's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say...
They're all lies.
Are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in the Reds magazine? All written by me, yes. A wonderful, very modern typewriter, a 10-year-old. But all the stories I've ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susato's getting more and more worked up.
Why I oughta.
Yeah,
Yes, that is me.
man, this is like finding out, like, this is why you don't meet your idols. You know, find out that like a small child wrote all of your favorite stories and they were all embellished lies.
I mean, my name is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true, too. I am the doctor of medicine.
No, at 10 years old?
At 10 years old, we in Britain move a little faster.
All you need is a bone saw and you're a doctor at medicine.
And some whiskey.
Well, that's quite incredible.
But, Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes.
I'm also an English gentleman.
I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. I am also trans and I am a gentleman. Oh! Trans lives matter.
Good for you, Iris. Awesome.
Well, it sounds very strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. That's not my favorite anime. I wouldn't watch that.
It's like, that seems like one that would have a really bad ending.
I suppose it does, yes. Kind of like Oshinoko.
Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has fallen apart. She just caught up with the anime, too. How are we gonna break the news that there's gonna be incest?
I keep on falling apart. Sorry, that was bad. It was supposed to be Alicia Keys' Fallen.
Your deductions. All about before.
Yes? Yes. What's on your mind, Reno? Do tell.
How did you know that I was a lawyer and that we just arrived in London, I mean?
Yes. Oh, and that we're having a difficult trial tomorrow. How do you know all of this? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did. Explain every detail. Of course, I'll be delighted, although there really is no mystery. But now, let's begin. Man, I really happen to join when all the girls are talking.
Sorry.
Iris Wilson is proud to present the Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. First of all, you're a real cutie.
Oh, gee,
I knew
thanks.
already. I knew already you were a lawyer, Reno. After all, I met you yesterday in the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said we'd only just arrived in London. How'd you know that?
I observed a passport and a travel ticket protecting from your breast. Your burly breast pocket.
You saw my titty paper?
So I reasoned confidently that your titty paper had only arrived just in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against a particular prosecutor. Tell me you are unaware of London's court affair.
The Reaper of the Bailey? I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today? Damn, that's what they do at clubs. You know, they put stamps on your hand at clubs. So this is pretty much you went to the club.
And then you have to wash them off so you can drink like the bands.
They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see? I didn't realize. Now, where the hell are they? What's this yellow background? Where are they? What does it look like they're in a computer or something?
It looks like the save room in like the SMT games.
Oh my god, it does, but yellow instead of blue.
Like the Amala system.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like from Soul Hackers 2. I think it's called like Iris or something like that. Ias.
Ah, yes.
And the red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that be told, even though you had only yesterday's concluded the trial of Magnus McGuffin. That wasn't his name, but it went by so fast. The two of you had already had caused a visit to a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you were wearing particularly sad expressions on your face. So I concluded that the prison was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, Harley been home for a few hours yesterday. Herlock solved yet another case. It's obviously amused him. He told me he caught a Japanese man who was howling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume.
Mr. Natsume? Now Reno has the fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Sussy? Well, anyways, it's clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there are only one conclusion those facts could lead to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says his man trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing the notes with a knife, you know. He is so silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was the one of the greatest deductions. Well, was it a winner? Where's my deduction correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You even managed the certain something of Mr. Shom's delivery.
Well, I was just copying Hurley's styles for that. Sorry, that was not a British accent. This is really very good news. You could tell us about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please?
So yesterday, Mr. Shom's apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying?
Yes. Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. but the police were waiting on him on the railroad station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, the great detective's a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, sifty-looking stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking stooped man. Stooped? What's a stooped man?
Like hunched over. Or maybe a little, like...
Stoop kids afraid to leave the stoop. Mr. Natsumi, beyond any doubt.
So Seki-san did say he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. But it seems there were witnesses after all.
Early sure is great detective powers to determine the man's address. What the fuck? Well, how did he do that? It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police. What did they find? A short, stiff-looking, stooped man shivering in fear.
Mr. Shum's great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Sass. The shade is so shady in here. Of course it is. It's a great deduction. He's a great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow's too soon for a trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing the best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently.
They can't hit the slay button.
They're not serving. They're leaving many crumbs behind. Too many crumbs. A whole meal behind. Oh dear. They're leaving crumbs behind. I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That is why we can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying criminals in court. What? That's backwards. That's not how that works. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned at the first suspect person. Doesn't that remind you of another country?
Damn.
That's terrible. I suppose it's the harsh realities of working of the world's greatest justice system.
Something tells me this isn't the world's greatest judicial system.
I don't think so. They're just taking the first person and saying that you did the crime.
Be like, we're just gonna take a stab in the dark and say that's the first person that seems a little sassy.
So I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. I'm pissed. So you come into this game, everyone's like, Great Britain's the best. Oh my god. And they start saying really weird racist shit. And they're like, oh, our system is so great. It's the best in the world. And then they're like, oh, we just try the first person that comes to mind. It's like, what happened? I thought you guys were supposed to be wonderful. Like, this is, like, it's just opposite of everything we've been told. It's just not fair.
They constantly prove you wrong and set you up for failure. So it's like one of those things where it's like, we try to gas up the British, like, I guess sort of court system in this game, and then like we start to see why the British court system is actually not good for any of the people that we're fighting against or fighting for.
The writing is too good. The writing is too good.
I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san.
No, you're the lawyer. You're not supposed to say that.
The good luck, dude. Oh, thank you so much for answering these questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about the case as well.
Well, I don't know where his ass is. He could be anywhere. He could be at the pub or the bar. He could be anywhere. I expect Hurley is investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Nuts Ome. Nuts, Mr.
Mr.
Nuts.
Nuts.
Hurley says he was going to the man's lodging.
That's the name I give to like restaurants when I do reservations. Dinner table for 5 for Mr. Nuts.
If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Garrison when you were there? He was eating a lot of fish and chips. That man needs help.
Yeah, you wrote about him quite a lot in your stories. You said he was a fat, dopey idiot that liked to piss himself at the crime scenes. Yes, we know Mr. Inspector Gregson from your stuff.
Ah, goody. In that case, did he piss himself?
Did he vomit too? Did he see dead bodies and it's just like,
I can't. Blimey.
Somebody hold my fish and chips. Give Gregsy this for me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
what is this? Also, what is this?
It's a threatening letter that tells him he needs to fucking shut the fuck up and talk.
It's bribery and a death threat.
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard. What the fuck?
Like, it reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, question mark." Oh, that's...
Gosh, that makes the inspector help us, will it? 5 shillings? That's an insult. I feel like that's an insult.
I don't know if that's a lot of money in, like, the early 1900s.
It's gotta be less than 10 bucks.
Be like, you gotta look at the conversion for 5 shilling.
Oh.
No, I've got it to, I guess, USD. Yeah, 0.035 USD. How much is British shilling worth today? Let's see. 5 shilling in pounds. That's like 0.028 pounds. So like, oh, that's Kenyan shillings. Wait a second. British shillings. Oh no, it's still, wait.
I still believe she gave that man $1 and told him like to just talk to you.
Pounds, shillings, and pennies. Let's see.
Now, did she have that postcard pre-written or did she just write it in front of you? That's the question.
Maybe she has multiple copies.
And she just knows men who wear black and just happens to have it ready for them?
Suppose so.
Good luck then. I'm going to be writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, expect the scene of the crime.
Yay, crime scenes.
Let's go find some bodies.
So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. To be cunt. Inude.
Yeah, so you feeling cunty.
To be cunty. Alright, save.
February. Briar Road.
It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
He's way too happy. Perfect. Let's find Inspector Garrison as quickly as possible.
Yes, let's go see if he'll take a break from his chips and look at that silver tip Iris gave us from him.
Hey Garrison, we got a tip for you. It's big and it's thick.
Bend over, you might like it. Oh, it's a take that, not a 5 shilling is a crown. Let's see. I'm just gonna skip past this. Iris is the most. How much is 5 shillings, by the way? It's probably enough to buy all the chips the inspector could eat in a month. That's greasy.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
Oh, damn. So, this is a pretty penny. Or a shilling. Inspector Gregson, you have a moment?
I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
No, this motherfucker didn't just call me a gagabot.
Gadabout's
No way. Come on, hold me back.
Hold me back, bro. Hold me back, bro. Hold me back, bro. Hold it. No, get back. We have the.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? From me? From her ladyship?
Her ladyship.
Give it there! At once! Come on, hand it over! That's for me!
Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? What the fuck was that about?
It's a silver crown, obviously. It's worth a lot more than that. It's, well, an appearance fee. That's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right. For the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time.
Wait, but you fucking hate it, and yet you're getting paid for it. What the hell?
So you're like, I'm going to accept your money, and I'm still gonna be pissy about it and act like it's like libel.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them all avidly.
Of course. Her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes, but still.
I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be very difficult for you.
Never mind you that. So, what do you want to know then?
Sorry.
Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust there won't be a problem, he says. Well, obviously it's not a problem, so go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, we would very much like to know the address of Mr. Noxman's lodging.
Ah, the little knife-wielding, mustached Japanese fellow. He lives in the right old hovel. It's just over there. Look. On the first floor, that corner where the wreck of the bicycle propped up.
That's like right across the fucking street. Oh my god. Why did we have to pay this guy $5 for this?
We could have pocketed for ourselves and had ourselves enough fish and chips for like 2 months.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Dr. John Garrideb. Right?
I literally thought that said John Cena, and I was like, hell yeah.
His name is John Cena!
I I thought it was gonna be Magnus McGilden. I was gonna flip. Like he was like the landlord of that place too.
Well, now he got free lodging because he's dead.
Yeah.
Right then. If you see her again, make sure you tell her you give her ladyship my regards. You hear? I mean it. You tell her Gregson sends his very best wishes.
Don't worry, Inspector, we will.
Goodbye for now. And long live her ladyship.
No, this guy's like totally like here for a 10-year-old.
He's like, he simps for a 10-year-old. That's so British.
I was gonna say Sims too, but then I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Dude's like, I read what Alice in Wonderland was inspired by, and I think that's lovely.
Hey yo! Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely. Hopefully he has no magazines.
Let's go in. Let's see what kinds of magazines that this Mr. Natsume has. See if we can find his little book of friends. Man, this fireplace has been going on for a while. Dude's been in.
My man's got a goddamn cannon in his goddamn room. How the hell do you get that in there? Are they giving those for free?
And how's the fire still going if he's been in jail for 2 days?
Maybe Herlock wanted to be a little comfortable. Oh, there's a maid. May I help you?
Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garadeb?
Indeed, it would be, sir. And who may I ask is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I am...
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Sosuke Natsume. I believe he is taking lodgings here. We would very much like to ask him some questions about our clients. One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garaby.
Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real-life English woman.
I know, as I understand it, anyone standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But it was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day's getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete.
Well,
Hopefully a black butler.
I'm not sure I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. I really want to see if he is one hell of a butler, like he says.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garab will see you now this way.
Good day to you. John Garadeb at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He is a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maiwan, don't you know? I used to be a lawyer just like your friend here, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. It is a hell of a job, getting up and down the stairs now. I can tell you. Don't get out much, as you imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up there to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercises, Mr. Naruhodo, you fat fuck.
Do you think I'm fat as shit?
Well.
Joe, forget about that.
Well, Mr. Garibdi, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. A medal is just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on my wall. Why do you fetch it, Joan? Get these good people see it properly. Joan? Ah! Dash it all, woman! Be careful!
Oh, dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
You darling near took my bollocks off my balls.
I shall be more careful of your balls, sir.
The skin off me bollocks about to leave. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now, except for when she spills the tea on my bollocks.
Yes, I see.
Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs, is that right?
Yes, we'll be very grateful if you can answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blightly. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So in this case, it's very much in the public eye, as it were.
Oh, is it?
Why is he stirring his tea with his pipe? Wouldn't I get some tobacco in his tea?
I think it would get in his tea.
Disgusting.
Disgusting shit.
Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in his old house, would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Shlomes.
Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. I prefer mine with a little bit of ash from my pipe.
Oh, but do you have a copy of Rensis magazine here? So?
No, and
Anyway, the chap's investigation the foreign's room as we speak.
So he's in Saseki-san's room.
it is a bally nuisance, it's what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all the fuss. It's jolly unsettling.
About Mr. Natsumi then, Mr. Garibay. Please do tell us.
Ah yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently then.
I have 2 lodgers most of the time. One on the ground floor and one just below us. The floor has been available for a week now. Dash it all, Joan! Do be careful!
Oh my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. Yeah, this is gonna happen a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Little shit.
If you want my opinion, I thought he was shady sort of the moment I set eyes on him. Oh, why? Is it because you're racist?
I love the jiggle physics on her cheeks. It kind of looks like a booty.
She's so cute. Oh, the little cheeky cheeks. He seemed to have the most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulders. The man had shady writing across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I say to myself, Joan, this man is trouble. Sooner or later, he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about that. About anything.
We won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all? Yes, oh yes indeed, there was.
And she's dying to tell us. Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
Oh my word, yes, the man is shadier than an orchid. Could you elaborate? Well, take the man's room, absolutely stuffed filled of books, is it? More than anyone can ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with any another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookstore every single day and comes back at 5 to the lights the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. Then how would you know? Shouldn't you have gone to bed?
Yeah, it seems very suspicious. Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed around 9 each night. Well, he's just like me. I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Ah.
Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh! I understand that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house, is that correct?
That's right, yes. They're both below us, on the first floor and street level.
Then how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they came back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed.
Good grief, Joan! Be well careful, woman!
Oh my goodness, sir. I'm so terribly sorry, sir.
Something doesn't add up here. It seems that the incident took place about 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window at around that time?
The window.
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks over Barrow Road. The incident took place on the pavement just as far aside the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering around nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garadep household, so I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. But I want to add to this, guys.
Yes.
Didn't she say that he comes every day at 5 p.m. to light the gas?
Yeah. It's a bit suspicious.
And with the fog as well, I think it would have been quite impossible to see another side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else outside of the ordinary then?
Such as?
He's nuts. Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well. Yes, there was something then?
Well, it's nothing in particularly significant, but around the time that sort of thing. For the love of God, Joan! Watch where you're going!
Oh dearie me, what have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir.
Do be more careful, woman!
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Naru Hollow.
Yes, my name's not Mr. Hololive.
I have exceedingly good VTubers, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh, really? Mr. Garadeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been. Oh, well, as I was saying, it's more of a oh, Joe, dash it all! What is the matter with you?
Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down for a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Garib.
What's the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident, but what?
I wish I knew. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak.
Yeah, there is a bit of an echo. I know I guess throughout this stream there's a bit of an echo. It's hard to be able to, like, make it a little lower. I guess without putting the mic down a bit lower.
We're in the same room, so it's kind of hard, so there's an echo. I try my best to keep my voice down. I'm really sorry, guys.
I know, it's something that we'll have to probably try to, like, I guess work with at some point, but at the moment it might be a bit more trickier. Yes, told me Mrs. Natsume, that's his name, had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services?
That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around in Mr. Natsume's room, I mean? Don't see why not. It's just one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that'll help us with the case, but we'll have to try. If anything, putting a blanket over one's head acts like for the soundproof foam things.
Damn, I'm gonna try that. Give me a moment. Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
A new location. Come on. Down. Down, down. Let's see. Where's the little cat? What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that are responsible for that.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No, me neither.
It's so dark in here. Is there a window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. But for some reason, it's closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you?
No, that's true. According to what Mr. Garadeb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Okay, let's talk to the cat. Baby.
Look at that 3D ass cat. It doesn't even fit in the picture.
Oh, baby.
Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Unlike the other one that killed that other guy. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master's away. It's a cat.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into the pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor Mike, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat in Great Britain? Mike?
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That's made me feel homesick now.
Already, we've only been in the country for 2 days. Shit, that's been a long ass 2 days, girl.
We've been out in sea for probably a while. Look at all the books. They're almost reaching the ceiling. They're all works of English literature. They all smell so musty with the volume of books. You'd never be short of reading material, though.
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe. For me, at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the books are... The book at the bottom of the pile will now ever be read again.
Ah, so reading is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Let's see. Look around.
Or I think you can look on the other side or something. I see a little arrow.
Yeah. Like trying to find out which space. Investigate it thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place.
Did the controller freeze?
It is freaking out a bit. It doesn't quite read like the PlayStation one very well. Oh no. I wish I could just click on it and it goes, but I don't know what the strategy is. I feel like I screwed myself over.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevice between the mountain of the books on either side.
I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit here and read while stroking his cat. Surrounded all sides of the towering old tomes, he surely meant the books every night as well.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't be. Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from the secondhand bookstore. Your books.
Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name on it. And look, the day of the purchase. 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. No, that's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he embroiled in the terrible attacks. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
The secondhand book receipt has been added. Up, there we go. Hey, dude. Let me get some water.
Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo.
Aha! There he is. Where'd he appear from?
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope he wouldn't mind if we disturbed him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, you two! Good day! Now let us see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Buria.
Yes, of course, the Buria. And let me see what happened on that voyage. It was Cosima Sogi. He died. Tragically. But you were a great help to— oh, sorry. It was Cosima Sogi. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us. Ah, yes, of course. The case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh.
Well, you seem to remember something at least.
What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Sherlock Holmes. That is Mr.
Oh, no, 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 my dear madam, hold your tongue. I pride myself on the superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo. And Mr. Susato. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round.
Yeah, at least you remembered the names.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. In truth, I hope they'd invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me in the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Saseki-san in that short amount of time, huh? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little bit. A little. It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend of any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow at the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from the adventure titled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately, my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask about the trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should be only too pleased. And this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Let's see, let's converse. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems you assist in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman here outside of Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe that it was a name rather along the lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
What?
I can't believe he was looking Susato square in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you I'm not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh, how? I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of a crime. That doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request to me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing. There was a number of books scattered on the pavement of the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop in which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately given to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere in this establishment in question. So you think Mr. Natsume's the culprit then? That I could not tell you, but it was aggravating my facilities, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived in believing I am a man of leisure, no.
Oh dear.
Ah, tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from a great British institution that is the services.
It's the first time I ever met a maid from the great British institution that is service. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. As you may be well aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in the Great Britain Primer.
And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken a social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry? Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the other echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Goodness, how extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of pure importance. I had no idea. It is precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Oh? Affable as he is, a fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am, as of yet, unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsumi has stabbed no one.
Ah, but sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Window tax? What is that?
surely not a tax on windows.
Ah, precisely that.
Oh my goodness.
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly closed windows up, while the rich opened windows here and there and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
Rooms devoid of light.
Indeed, disease was rife as a result. Some 40 years ago, thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for an example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't a generous one, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinary low price.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here 1 week ago. Yes, that is correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Well, I believe I told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, didn't you? Will you perhaps be offering me your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Then I shall congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized. And so promptly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Oh, yes. Trust. Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I have the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there's simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite equivocally. The man who fled the scene 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room. And there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. Ah, and one more thing. Oh?
Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us.
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of any relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garadeb is... Mr. Sholmes said as much before actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, all that really plays on my mind in retaliation to this case.
Mr. Naruhodo. As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing and could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garredeb's secret. And just remember, you cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. I guess Mr. Garredeb's room. Ah, you Paragon. Tell me, what was the detective chap? I forgot his name. Still hard at work down there?
Mr. Herlock Slomes?
Ah, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my cup of tea, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what— No! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're very well doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall ask you two to take your leave, if you'll be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk to young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck in all that shit. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garredeb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Let's see. What makes me think you're broke? What is this?
What's that on the floor?
I'm trying to... Come on. There we go. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. What's this little thing? Oh.
Look at the enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it seems certainly like someone's trying to hide something from view. What could be behind it, I wonder?
I'm going to have a quick look. Maybe let's not, Miss Susato.
I think the maid's gonna head off with a cup of tea. Let's see. To investigate everything. I guess probably whatever hones in. Let's see what the cannon has. It's a full-size cannon! What's it doing here?
Oh my, it's real. I thought it might have been a replica.
That old thing? Bah, a little more than a toy. Sorry. The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon around the house. Really? Isn't overkill? Be prepared always, as you say. You never know what Twisted World is gonna throw at you next, boy.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Gareb?
Always is. Take Joan here, never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. They dry really well in the cannon there, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. What are these books? Notice you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garredeb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book.
Oh, there's a copy of the Renset magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garrison enjoys the adventures of Sholmes.
The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. The uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Ha! Not much bigger than rags, really. Oh? Well, that ceremonial garment my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one to dwell on the past, me. Would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to have an odd piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
Oh, I see.
Perhaps we should leave the past in the past.
The medal. That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very great banner.
Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight.
That's right. No straights.
Ah, that old thing. It's not straight on purpose. I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bally thing out of the way. It's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose.
It says for disguised participation.
Sounds like the kind of
Distinguished participation.
Sounds
I'm
like
sorry.
the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. Man, is this stolen valor? You think that he, like, what's it called? Like, pretty much over-embellished his time in the military?
I think it's a
Maybe,
participation trophy.
The portrait of Mr. Garrett is glaring at me, I swear. He keeps downplaying every single thing he owns.
Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photography prints of Mr. Garrett
Yes,
as
and
well?
there seems to be a place is a bally wizard. Went to sell him something and came out with that thing. In point of fact, now that I think about it, I'd rather often find myself leaving this place with something I don't need.
The line ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirement.
Susato-san doesn't pull her punches, or throws for that matter. Let's see, I guess I would click here.
Go across the room.
Oh, what's he doing over there? Oh, Sherlock.
Mr. Sholmes?
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious! When did you sneak in there? Lock Sholmes, sir. At your service.
Whatever were you doing over by the window?
I am given to watching the evening sun as the... I'm given to watching the evening sun as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, dearly as cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks the aperture of such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Oh, well, keeping an eye on one's window at dusk is a prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Ah, One other thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? I thought perchance you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about... I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon.
Do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes even see the most trivial of trifles. I take it that you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo. I think so. There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. So let us conclude the matter before dark. Mr. Garadeb, it would seem you're a military man of considerably distinguished service. Your standing as a landlord is certainly not one would call first-rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it's all too clear to me. There's two conclusions I've been able to draw by a careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
The first, you're a slumlord. You're concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
Oh.
And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you've lost something very dear to you. Well...
Mr. Naruho, look!
The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievable. It seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
How? How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of knowledge and logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form does this beast take? Ah, for a man of military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garadeb, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast is run rampant here. It's revealed by this lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear imposing at best. In fact, that has fueled your ambition of the mighty lion, king of beasts.
Wait, is that giant bullets in the background?
Oh yeah, it's I think those are either giant bullets or giant like artillery missiles.
Are they for the
I think
cannon?
they might be for the cannon, other than the cannonballs.
What is that piffle, I ask you?
In the end, your admiration becomes so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
What?
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you imagined. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Well, where would this angry creature have disappeared to, madam?
Me?
I pray you should not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain for me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
Your dress pocket gives me handsome clues as to the beast's current whereabouts. or protruding from the handmill advertising a circus show.
Oh,
Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garridan, at Batty's Circus, a traveling show currently sojourning in the nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancily jubilating throughout the ring of fire. I think it was that cat downstairs.
yeah, it was the cat downstairs. I don't know what the hell he's talking about with the lion.
Now, Mr. Garridan, it is plain clear that you still have clear feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in the blithe pose of distress, this loss has caused you a veritable tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain that you feel is revealed by your supporting arm. Amidst fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man. I simply...
But what we must ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it's the pile of bills that's given rise to the pain of your suffering. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on your financial circumstances of your household.
He's feeding the lion tea.
As you have no choice but to let it go. It drank through way too much tea.
Yes, well,
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable act.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which is clearly seen by the observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What have caused such destructive outbursts? This time, madam, I'm afraid it's you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly, indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the Tower of Cakes. There's no creature more dangerous in this earth than the beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by a certain noble woman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of the tragedy, in fact. Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match for those of a lion I once saw in India. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
Oh, what's the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Yeah, he definitely had like the big, like, just jaw drop.
I'm sorry, Mr. Garib. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions have been startling sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Holy Grail. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
Oh,
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but can I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again? Well, your deductions just now. So you really think a lion could have fit inside a room this size? Indeed, it's my own explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to reconsider what lies inside the realm of common sense as well?
but if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garib and the maid would have been hurt or worse.
Oh, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using a large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard a lion that drinks tea. See, I was right. I was right.
Oh, my dear Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, are infused with the highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Oh, what a glorious notion.
Of course they want tea. They're... Well, then he's fucked up.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight message that all Shlurm's deduction needs. You can do it.
Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning of Sherlock Holmes' logic and really spectacular. Actually knocked over my controller.
A wild beast knocked over the controller. It's the Great Prudence. Watch out.
Oh no.
Oh no, now it's not connecting.
Come on. Come on. Work your magic. Work your magic. Do I try to use the keyboard? T-E. Oh, let's see. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you missed... No.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garrison's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok in the room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature. It could have been a lion transported in India, so what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garib's gaze. This will lead us to the true answer.
Let's see.
Is there a picture of him and the cat in the background behind the line?
Yeah. Oh, there's a baby. Let's see. Present. That's R.
Take that!
Oh. Behind the lion statue and the mantelpiece, almost deliberately hidden from view, is a photograph. Though I've yet to examine in detail, I can assure you that it holds the answer. Because I'm employing an extremely advanced detection technique called jumping to conclusions, you see. And that deduction was wanting in every way. Yes, I wanted you to hear it. I'm quite proud of it. I find myself wanting to never have heard it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact. Oh, sorry. Try again. Wait, what?
Wait, that wasn't right?
That wasn't right? No, there was a pet. And that... I think I have to investigate it and then talk. Fuck. It's like, I think it's, wait. Yeah. Wait a second. True nature of the beast that's run rampant, revealed by that lion statue. Yeah, it should be this, right?
I would think so, but unless you have to click the lion statue again.
Oh, that's the investigation button. The enter.
Yes, I wonder. Perhaps if you did live with a lion, it would prove to be a rather sweet companion. No, it wouldn't.
I think that's like a mouse trying to tell its family the cat around the house is sweet.
I suppose it is a bit of a flight of fancy, isn't it?
Anyway, the beast we're looking for is something else. Let's have a good look around. Oh, I have to click this with enter. Look at that and then present it. Fucking assholes. What is this photograph?
It appears to be Mr. Garrison's wedding. Looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride. Oh, the maid is his bride.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. I'm gonna present the bride.
Take that!
The true nature of the beast is run rampant here. It's revealed by that newly-bred bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, it is a framed picture of your wife, Mr. Garib. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note that the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh, indeed. Surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast.
What?
Honored might be stretching the point. Too late. The fact remains the beast, which is so clearly savaged the room, was your wife, Mr. Garib. Oh, that's fucking rude.
That's
Yeah.
rude as shit.
The chilling trace of the wild rampage is still very much in evidence.
Well, you guys are just fucking around with this dude, aren't you?
Well, as you're looking around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to, madam? They're just antagonizing the maid and making...
Me?
I pray you not consider me unchivalrous, but it's plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is?
Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Oh dear. Anyways, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There is sign of Miss Garab's anywhere.
But it seems like there may be a clue as to where whereabouts are. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garab's wife could be.
Was she the one stabbed?
I don't know. Wait. What's this face slap? I guess it's something where... Why is it angled in such a way? Two tightly shut eyes to avoid any chance of a giveaway glance. Pursed lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Rounded cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Mrs. Sato.
It's your turn of phrasing that's unnerving, Mr. Naruhodo. Are we supposed to be able to see her pocket or something?
Dress pocket. Let's see. Can I even open?
That certainly does appear to be a circus handbill poking out from her pocket. Batty's Circus, currently performing shows in the park and far from here.
You don't think? Surely Mr. Garab didn't sell his wife to the circus.
Of course he fucking didn't. Mr. Naruhodo, how could you even think of such a thing?
I was only joking.
Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to this pet lion?
That's somehow worse. Oh, there's a ring. I see a ring. Oh shit. She's wearing a very large ring. Look.
Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger on her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring.
It looks like it's on there for life, too. Can't imagine it would slide off a finger that size. It's mean.
That's something to say, Mr. Naruhodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garrison's wife in the photography in a ring very much like this one? It's a very large sunflower design as well.
Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? And here I'm going to present. That is for the letter.
Take that!
Your wedding ring is giving us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Indeed it does. The flowery band gleaming from your finger gives it away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garrett, as bride in the photographic print. In other words, you're no ordinary housemaid. No. You are Mr. Garredeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garredeb herself.
Oh my word!
Well, jolly old fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is my wife, yes. My Joan. Rather let herself go, as you might say. She was a barely cockable. It would appear you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out homes. I'd assume, therefore, you have an insufficient means of employing a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
So you made your wife your maid. Okay, dude, that's kind of a jerk move.
It's kind of sad. Yes. Maybe it's only when people are over.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are all folly. You mean Mr. Garrett has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrett? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. No, Mr. Garadeb. Oh, this is just the same thing. He's just looking at places. Yeah, it's starting to get a bit late. Go ahead, waist heavy on your shoulders. Mr. Shums is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast.
Yes, and as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garadeb is standing right beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Shums, his pain is tangible though. What could that pose really symbolize?
She slapped him in the face.
The pain is deep. A silent sleeper, he'll hear a peep peep. Oh my, look at that bright red mark.
Gosh, that's quite something and clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Garrett has been slapped in the face, it seems. Hard.
It's never been such a clearly defined mark. Such a thing.
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say.
Take that!
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel is revealed by that slapped cheek. Slapping cheeks. And of course, the delivery of that impressive mark on your cheek has refused to fade. Was you, Madam Joan Garrett?
Well, yes.
You have been desperate to hide that slapped mark on your cheek, sir. Yeah? How the blazes? How did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. to keep your other side of view.
Well, poof.
Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why are you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused her to flight. Rage. Follow the direction of your gaze. Definitely not that.
Didn't Mr. Shom said that the bills were all for the lion's fodder?
Yes, but now we've established the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing.
Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap in the face. One so hard it left a perfect hand mark, in fact.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such a force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question. Let's see. Oh shit. There's kissy marks on this.
Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
And look right next to the signature here. Lip marks.
Lip marks made with lipstick. I would hope it's lipstick. Oh, what a passionate romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Who would she do that
I
for?
don't know.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark's actually a love note then. Ooh, cheating.
Take that!
Yes, it is this love note that's given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is a fly in the ointment here. Yeah. But I don't know the belly woman. You don't know her. That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right, I've been trying to— Ow!
A likely story.
Now listen here, Joan, you old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at a second-hand place, and that note must already have been in there. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, I've been trying to say.
A likely story.
For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you forgot, is John. Oh!
A likely story.
Are you questioning my name now? And there you have it. Arose the suspicion of a female heart, and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious spite. Oh. Not just like casual sexism. Oh no.
Also abuse.
Also a lot of abuse. And a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath damage can be seen observed by the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Mr. Madam, I'm afraid it's you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. It's settled upon answer quite dearly. It's not the cakes.
But surely Mrs. Garrison didn't eat the car.
No, of course not. That's my job. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray in this room is a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Shom's deductive that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garrison's gaze, and that will lead us to the answer.
All right, let's see what we can see. Yes.
Yes.
Not this shit. Let's see. This candle. Oh wait. Oh no, the carpet. I guess the.
Wait. Can we look at the candle stand?
The candle stand.
It's missing a candle.
Yeah, it's on the floor.
Looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock could make it topple over.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing.
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is it, I wonder? Why is one candle of 3 missing from the holder? I guess, do I scroll down or do I present?
Do you present that one or the one on the...
I think I might present the candlestick. Yeah.
Take that!
Yes. To explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow. And of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured is clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give away the truth. Scorch marks? It would appear this room is the scene of a little marital altercation. Miss Garrett's mighty muscle arms left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. Force her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder. And in seconds, the carpet was alight. The whole corner of the room was in flames. Yes, the most ferocious beast in the world is neither a lion nor a vengeful woman, but a fire. And in this room, the ferocious beast fares its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. You see, there's one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was in a scene of fire. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! Oh! Yay. Alright.
Woohoo!
Should I save and quit here? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, alright. Oh wait, no. Options. Oh, G. G? There we go. Let's see. Alright. Exit the game. Sure, one more time. For good measure. This was a very long one, probably my longest yet, but with all this kind of excitement and fun, I imagine that there is quite a bit to work through.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was hoping we would get to the actual case, so I'm kind of surprised we didn't get to it.
No, it's all the investigation part at the moment. So it was quite a bit to chip away, but I'm really glad that everyone was here for it.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, though my reading wasn't great and I have a really bad British accent.
I think you did a really awesome job. I really appreciate all the effort that you did to be able to read along through this.
Yeah, it was a really good time. I enjoyed it. I'd come back again. I feel like I'm more of a spectator where I'm like, ooh, what's going on? What's going on? I feel like when the investigation happens, I'm going to start like throwing fingers and hands at people.
Yeah, if you want to, I could probably read like all of it next time around, or kind of just give you like the floor for when you want to like chime in.
I don't mind reading. I feel like it'd make it easier on you and your throat.
All this Manuka honey is kind of like helping a little bit, but I know sometimes with like the stuffier British accents, it can strain a little bit.
You did so good with Mr. Garrison, especially the eating parts. I was so impressed. I was like, damn, it's like he's really eating something.
What's it called? The guy that's eating the fish and chips and stuffing it in his mouth.
I want to shake that guy's hands. He's got greasy hands.
He's got like a greasy everything. Like his face is probably greasy. His hands, his pockets, like his jacket is probably all grease.
He should be the beast, not Mrs. Garrison.
Yeah.
She did nothing wrong. God, that was so like offensive.
That was pretty rough. I was surprised at how like offensive it got.
I really thought it was gonna be about like Mr. Natsumi's like cat. I did not think it was gonna be about this guy's wife.
I did think it was gonna be the cat, and that like he went upstairs, and part of the reason for the resentment was because the cat kept on breaking things, and not because there was like a weird cheating scandal where she like lost her shit and attacked him.
So if we have to think about this, right? Does that mean what he was trying to say earlier when he was like, what happened at 5 p.m. that day? I guess it must have been the fight.
I guess it would probably be like, yeah, the altercation, I imagine.
Because I don't think he would have anything else to say unless they're going to make him say something else. But I think the fight is what happened 2 days ago. And that's why they didn't see anything outside the window.
Yeah. I would imagine that'd be the case.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna call off for the night.
Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate it. And thank you everybody for dealing with the echo. I think the blanket might have helped a lot. I'm not sure. We'll have to see in the VODs.
Yeah, and thank you all for coming along. I'm really excited and really happy to be able to do all this. So before all that, I'm gonna poke my beauty mark, poke the mic, and you're going to be off to doing or enjoying whatever new streams or VODs are going to be showing up today. You have a lot of encouragement. There's quite a bit that's on at the moment, so there's no shortage of people to stumble into. But before then, I'll see you all on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.